On today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and go through the 30 first things you need to do after taking upon delivery of your brand new Tesla Model Y. Now, I recently picked this one up a few days ago, and these are some things I wish I knew since day one. But now that I know these 30 things, I'm gonna go ahead and share it with you guys. So when you pick up your Tesla, you know how to safely drive it right off the lot, as well as set some personal settings on day one. So sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get started. So rule number one, prior to any vehicle in general, is adjust your mirrors. Now, Tesla, everything is literally controlled on this one display. So it can be a little bit confusing, especially if you're new and not really so tech savvy. So really quick, all your main vehicle settings are always going to be located right here in the car icon. We're going to go ahead and start off with the basics and work our way up to the more complex. So to adjust your mirrors, right here under quick controls, you can find these settings right here. And you literally just follow the on-screen instructions and you'll be able to adjust your mirrors. And then after that, of course, it's always important to adjust your steering wheel. Keep in mind, I hope you adjust your seats first because the positioning of the seat position is crucial upon adjusting the mirrors and the steering wheel. Now, once you adjust your seat, your mirrors, and your steering wheel, I highly recommend creating your profile. So on the very top right here, you'll be able to see profiles. Go ahead and follow the on-screen instructions. So in my case, I'm just going to click on driver profile settings, enter your name, nickname, or anything, and then create profile. And now every time when you adjust your seat, you could quickly just save it like so. And then if you go back to the driver profile, you can also create the easy entry. Now in the easy entry, position the steering wheel to a nice height and position where you could comfortably get in and out of the car. You can do the same thing with the seats as well. So now, next time when you open up the door and you sit inside, it's gonna position to the driver profile. And if you have a household or a vehicle, I should say, that you and a spouse or somebody else share and they both have their phones synchronized and connected to the same car, on this upper corner of the screen, prioritize the main driver device. So if you are or your spouse is the main driver whenever you guys ride along together, by having this enabled, the primary driver profile will always override the first device that it connected to. So your seating position is always ready for you instead of manually having to go and select your profile. Now, gesture controls. This is crucial for this display because it'll just make your whole life a lot easier. So the volume rocker, as a fine example, instead of tapping one by one, you could actually just tap once and just slide your finger across the screen like this. You could do the exact same thing with the temperature for the climate control. And for the climate control, as a fine example, instead of tapping on it to bring up this page and then tap off or auto or whatever you want to do to turn this off, you can always just press and hold, and this will turn it on and turn it off without having to need to bring up that display. And then whenever there's an application open up, like the energy grid as a fine example, instead of tapping the X to like close it, you're always able to just slide from the top corner and just slide down. And for the music, you could do a similar thing, but by holding the album artwork, you can actually bring it across the screen like this and leave it and drop it anywhere. It'll stay partially open like this as you see, or you can just slide it down completely to like close it, or tap on the music icon to remove it in general, all entirely. Now navigation also has some unique gestures. So tap navigation since it's a new car, press and hold the home icon, enter your home address, press and hold the work address, enter the work address. And now, instead of having to tap menu, navigation, and tap the work or home, you can always just slide your finger like so. It'll automatically set that destination to your work or your home destination. And it works vice versa. So if you're at your job and you do that, it's gonna automatically set directions to your house. And if you're at your house and you do that, it's gonna set destinations automatically to your work. So that's a quick rundown of how that works. And then if you want to clear some previous destinations, some previous addresses, you can always just slide to clear it like that. And when you have navigation running, if you tap the little top part right here, you can change the view from the overview if you like. And then of course the compass allows you to also do a similar thing too. Now another useful gesture is entertainment arrow. If you slide up, it will open up the previously open app automatically. Now, if you have a destination or an address on your smartphone and you want to put it on your Tesla, instead of having to enter it manually or use dictation to tell your Tesla to enter that address, you can always just go on your device and literally go on share and just select the Tesla app, and the navigation directions will automatically be uploaded to your vehicle. So you don't have to import it or anything like that. It's already set. So for me, when I got my vehicle, the owner's manual and other important documents were located in the glove box. So back on the car icon right here, just tap here to open up your glove box. Now I have a pin set up on mine, and I highly recommend doing so because inside the glove box is where you'll find, well, for the newer Teslas, is the Tesla flash drive, which this stores your dash cam footage and your Sentry mode. Stay tuned for that video, but this is where you can find this. And since it does have valuable stuff in here, I highly recommend using the pin code to better secure your device. And you can also add a pin for your vehicle itself for somebody to prevent somebody else from driving it. So since Tesla is primarily wireless, if you have your phone linked to your Tesla to be used as a key, I highly recommend doing this. This way, they have anybody who wants to drive off with your car, they have to first enter the pin, and it only takes a matter of seconds. Again, you can do this for both the glove box and the vehicle, which you could find it in the security and safety tab. Safety and security, I should say. Now, important things you need to know about your Tesla is, yes, all the important settings can be found here, but if you want faster access to, let's say, open up the trunk or open up the charging port and stuff like this, the right button right here on the steering wheel, if you actually press and hold, this will actually enable Tesla Assistant, which is basically your virtual voice assistant. You'll be surprised how much it could do. You can literally tell it to open up the front, close the trunk, charging port, set the temperature inside the vehicle at a certain percentage. It basically controls a lot of the car. Now, before you drive off, if you're wondering how you could adjust the air vents, just bring up the screen. And here's where you can actually like control it. You literally position it like with your finger. It's really interesting, but works surprisingly really well. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now I am. Now, if you're not a huge fan of the auto deceleration, it's an EV, it tries to regenerate its energy back, its lost energy back. If you're not a huge fan of this, if you're trying to practice more on driving an EV, you can always just go and drive and go down to where it says stopping mode. Creep will allow the vehicle to slowly move up forward, just like a regular combustion engine vehicle. Roll will basically roll when the pedals are released automatically. And then hold is what's usually used by default to regen some of that energy back in the battery pack. Now, upon driving your vehicle, these are some important things you need to know. This column over here, if you do this, this will engage Autopilot. Now, at first, the vehicle does need to learn the environment, so Autopilot won't turn on right away until this circle is fully full. But once that's on and you go into the settings and go where it says Autopilot, go ahead and enable auto steer, full self-driving, visualization preview, you'll be able to see not just your blind spot here, but what the vehicle will see. And as soon as you're on a highway, on a nice straight road, or a freeway, you can just do this and Autopilot will engage. Now, there's a couple of methods to disable Autopilot. My personal favorite method is just bring the column up and this will automatically cancel it so you can quickly gain control of the vehicle instead of fighting it with the steering wheel to disable it, which you can do, brake. I just find this easier. And if you like to set Autopilot to always be 5 miles over the speed limit in case that's your normal cruising speed, if you go into the settings, go into Autopilot, you can adjust the offset right here, so 5 over the speed limit. Now, the Tesla turn signal, it's kind of like BMW's. You tap once for a short turn signal turn, and then you long press for a long duration. This one won't go away until you either move it in the same position to cancel it or move it towards the total opposite. This is just personal preference, so it takes a while to really get the hang of this turn signal, but that's how I'm able to cancel it, by just moving towards the opposite direction once I'm already in my lane. Now, in terms of the only 2 buttons on the steering wheel, this is what you need to know. The one on the left, this controls your media. This is pretty much self-explanatory. But the one over here on the right is the most important one for your Autopilot. This allows you to adjust the distance as well as use the scroll wheel to increase or decrease the speed. And that's basically it. And then once you reach your destination and you have to enter reverse, you'll be happy to know that you could always access reverse as so long as you're going below 5 miles per hour. So if you're going forward, going 2 or 3 miles per hour, you can always just quickly switch to reverse without having to make a full stop. Now, as you're driving, you want to see the rest of your blind spot without relying on your mirrors or this point of view. You're always able to bring up the actual rear camera, and by default it's not going to show your blind spot, but if you slide up, it'll also show the other 2 side cameras, so you can really see your blind spot right here on the display as you're driving along. And once you're done, you can just tap the camera icon, it'll go back, it'll go away, and you can see your map. Now, once you're home, whichever method you choose to charge your vehicle, There's actually multiple ways you can open up the charge port. One, by your phone. The other method is on the touchscreen right here. Other method is, then the other way is push down with your finger on the charging port like so. Then if you have the Tesla charger, you can also tap on it right here. It will automatically open up the charge port just like so. And to close it, you don't have to manually push it down. I don't think that's good for the motor. Whenever your vehicle locks, it'll automatically close, or when you go inside your vehicle, it'll also close the port as well automatically. So for the best longevity for the internal motors, I recommend just let the vehicle close it automatically. Now, if you have a kid inside your car, or you just think that the chime inside the vehicle is really loud, you can always enter Joe mode, which you can find inside the vehicle settings, and go into safety and security. This is Joe mode. When this mode is enabled, the chimes and everything is toned down a bit. So Teslas, by default, Model Y and the Model 3, they give you these Tesla cards. And if you like to name them, this way you know whose card is being used. You can actually check the little log right here on locks, and it'll tell you the last time that key was used on this vehicle. And if you want to rename it, you could tap the little pencil icon and name it. So if you and your spouse have one, you can put your name on it. This way you can track who's taking the vehicle the most. And you're also able to add more too. You can just follow the on-screen instructions to find out more on how you can add additional keys. Now, something I wish I knew since day one, it took me a while to figure this out. There's actual USB ports right here. So if you're not a fan of wirelessly charging your devices, as it does charge at a slightly slower rate, if you want to charge your device fast, I highly recommend just plugging in to these ports to your main device. Now, if you have a narrow garage space and you're afraid that the trunk is going to hit the roof, you can always position it to the right height. So as soon as it's open, if you hold it midway and just hold it there for a couple of seconds and press the little trunk button back here to self-close it, and just keep holding it until you hear a chime, this is how you program the height so the trunk doesn't open up further. Now, for whatever said reason your Tesla screen does freeze, you'll be glad to know you can always reset it. The vehicle does not have to be in park. You could be driving, and if you want to reset the display, simply just hold down the two buttons right here on the steering wheel for a couple of seconds until the screen goes black. It will automatically reboot. So if you ever experience technical difficulties, that's how you can reboot it. Now, wiper controls, they look like you can control it here. You can technically, but it's also on the column right here by tapping on it. And here you can tap to adjust the speed. In addition to that, we all know this column over here. To put the vehicle in park, you just press on it once, but to engage the parking brake, you just hold it for a couple of seconds and you'll see that it engaged, and you can also hear it as well. And then to disengage it, just drive and it'll turn itself off, don't worry. Now, we all had those situations where your vehicle is accidentally blocking someone, has to be moved, and the key is nowhere to be found, and you're not home, but your neighbor or friend needs to move your vehicle. You'll be happy to know with the Tesla app, you could actually make it so that you could give somebody 2 minutes of time for them to safely move your vehicle out of the way. So by launching the Tesla app and go into controls, you could literally tap start right here. This will give somebody 2 minutes to move your vehicle. Now, once your vehicle is in the garage, I highly recommend connecting into Wi-Fi, which you can do by tapping the LTE icon right above here. This will bring up your Wi-Fi, go into Wi-Fi settings, and just search for the nearby network, enter your passcode, and now your vehicle is connected to Wi-Fi. This is perfect for not just streaming or using the media at home, but this is what's needed to properly update your Tesla whenever Tesla release an important update. Now, for whatever said reason, the vehicle is dead, but you have to get out since the doors are electric. There's a way you can override them with a manual pulley to get out. Now, these are for emergency purposes only. It's not recommended as Tesla claim over time, if you continue using them, they could cause damage to the door itself. But in case of emergency, both the driver and passenger sides both have this little handle you can pull up to manually pop open the doors. And for the rear seats, a little bit of an extra process you have to do. As they're located right here, you have to remove this plastic bit, and then there's a door that you have to use your fingernail or a flathead to pop that door out for you to pull this little rope mechanism, and that will pop open the rear doors. So in case of emergency, try exiting through the front doors, because the rear doors honestly is more of a hassle and the space is very, very small. And then lastly, use our referral code. Whenever you use the Tesla referral code, you and the other person gets 1,000 miles of free supercharging. And it's basically just that, it's a referral code. So if you don't have one, I'll be sure to include mine in the description down below in case you haven't yet picked up your Tesla and you're just doing research. Besides that, stay tuned as I have an accessory video coming out, as well as some hidden features and possibly more future Tesla content coming out on this channel. So if you also enjoy technology in general, make sure you are subscribed. And if you got some good useful information out of this video, greatly appreciate it if you can also leave this video a like. Now if you'd like to see more videos on this channel, feel free to watch this video over here, as that is a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. And that video over there, that is a recent upload video. Feel free to watch either or. Again, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.